only act but also dream, not only plan but also believe. The dream of the founding fathers of this institution is today turning into reality as we stand here to inaugurate the second office of our company in Kochi. A very good morning to all the dignitaries, guests and delegates. With great joy and immense exultation, I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for the inauguration of our new office here in Infopark. On this auspicious occasion, it is a privilege to have Mr. K.P. Hari, Executive Vice Chairman, Speridian Technologies, as our chief guest. I also welcome our co-founders, Mr. Derek Sebastian, Mr. Prakash Bari, and Mr. Tom Anthony for the function.
A very good morning to everyone. Though I'm a CEO, I'm not quite famous for making very long speeches. Normally we assign that task to Prakash Bari, and he does that wonderfully. This time I don't know. I got trapped. I will revisit that after the meeting. So we started this journey 3.5 months back. The main idea or main reason for making this bigger space was because of the integration with two other companies, Goodbits and Logistics. So the Simelabs family grew bigger. So of course, when your family grew bigger, you need a bigger space. So that's how we started, looking for a bigger space, and we shortlisted many buildings, and finally we finalized World Trade Center. Of course, because of obvious reason, the address of World Trade Center. So 3.5 months was a long journey. Me and Tom were personally involved in this project, in all and every aspect of this space. Even today morning, we left the space around 5:30. That was involved when we had, constructed the space. The main responsibility of an employer is, of course, to make, a very vibrant, a positive working atmosphere for the employees. And we have been following that standard from our first office onwards. And I think with our new space, we have reached our bar. We made some conscious decision to, not follow the conventional style of IT space. When you hear about the IT space, obviously the normal colors which you get in your mind are white, and almost everywhere you will see white. That's why we use some vibrant colors, and we made it a very greenery, because that will give you a very positive vibe. It was a conscious decision, but again, it's a make it or break it decision. But I think finally we made it. That's what I believe. I hope you also will be having the same thought. But see, you can share your views after the function. So once again, I welcome all of you for this wonderful ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek, for the wonderful speech. Light symbolizes victory over darkness. It marks the beginning of auspicious moments and events. I request all the dignitaries, Mr. K.P. Hari, Mr. Derek Sebastian, Mr. Prakash Bari, our technical lead, Sauji, and our people person, Raji, for lighting the lamp.
തഴുകുന്ന സാന്നിധ്യം
currently serving as Executive Vice Chairman of Speridian Technologies. I invite Mr. Prakash to say a few words and invite him.
Good morning, everybody. ഇത് വളരെ ശുഭകരമായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു പ്രഭാതമാണ്. We are very fortunate to have AP Hari as our chief guest and inaugurator for this event. Hari is actually 2 years senior to me in Palakkad Engineering College. ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ പറഞ്ഞ ഇവിടെ റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. It was annual day in Speridian yesterday and I was there as a guest. So whatever I said, I'm going to repeat here. So നമ്മുടെ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജിലൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ you are actually very friendly with your 2-year seniors and 2-year juniors. You have all your competition with your immediate senior and immediate junior. So they become your ally. You look at your 2-year senior with a lot of respect and a lot of compassion and all those things, and you get the same thing from your 2-year juniors. So he was always our role model. Their batch was our role model, and he was a all-rounder. When you say academic, just not academics, organizing things and all. Kerala Engineering College is what to expect. So he was involved in every one of those. So the organization skills, the leadership, which that system inculcated in us, has played a big role. I believe it has played a big role in making us leaders or entrepreneurs, right? So I really see that after a few decades now, to him to be a very successful entrepreneur, having presence all over the world, India, I think 6 countries and 16 different R&D centers and clients in many parts of the world. So he is really a role model for us now. Actually, we were in their 2 decades of growth, where they were a few years back, almost 10 years back. That's where we are. So they are really a leading example for us to emulate. And he is also very kind to basically guide us in our journey forward. We are very fortunate to have you here, Hari, as our guest. And I invite you to say a few words.
ഇന്നലെ സ്പെരിഡിയന്റെ ആനുവൽ ഡേക്ക് ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്ത്. Everybody understands Malayalam, so I can mix. So Prakash was one of our guests. So Prakash Pandey Kalagaran college. I think that we stayed in the same hostel. So I requested him that at least in Speridian annual day, he should not tell those college stories that much. You know how it was. And it was about several years back, but still the energy was almost, and the things what we do today, what you guys do today, was that was there several years back at the time too. So I have invited several Palakkad college mates as our guests in the Speridian annual days in the previous years. I had some bad experience. So people will come there and will tell my nickname in the college. That was okay. But one guy came 2 years back and told that I was arrested by police. That was truth. But which was not to be told to the friends, to the employees. But anyway, because I don't want to set the precedents, But I always say everybody in our company as well as you guys that we are in a very competitive world today. So in order to stay in that competition, we all have to work real hard. So whatever time we have, so work hard so that you can play hard. It's not the other way. Okay? So please do that. And I'm really happy to see these guys. See, ഞാനും എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടും കൂടെ ചേർന്നാണ് സ്പെരിഡിയൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. We started in 2003. I was telling the story that, when we started it, we just started it for fun. We didn't have any, the long vision to build the company to, 100 million, 200 million. There was nothing. We just started it for fun, to be honest with you, just for fun, with $149. That was our investment in the whole Speridian. Speridian is valued today at about $400 million. And so we got lucky. We really got lucky. That was one. That was one major part of how we got here. But the second thing was that it's very important to pivot and to think about the next step. So our goal was, the first few months, our goal was to get the first client. That was only goal. So we got one client. Then we tasted the blood. Then we realized that we can get 10 clients. So we got 10 clients. We hired our first employee. Then the 10th employee. Then then we realized that we want to get to 100 employee level. So we grew to 100 employee. We grew. We got our first $1 million revenue year. Then then that is how we grew. We never thought that we can be $1 billion company or anything. But see, every year we plan for the next 2 or 3 years. That worked for us, but that does not mean that it will work for you guys. And also, see, whatever Infosys have achieved, I don't think that that will be applicable for many companies. But we should learn. And the important thing is that we should adapt what is good for us and what is suitable for us. We should just pick and choose. Out of the ideas and we all will be good. And it's one very good thing is that it's not like 20 years, 10 years back. See, there are a lot of opportunities here, especially for India. And you guys are really lucky. Lot of information available everywhere. One sincere request to you guys. Sincere request. Whatever you do it with your heart. Don't do it for these guys. Really. Don't do it for this guy. Then you'll do a half-assed job. That is not going to help you, help them, help anyone in the world. Whatever you do, if you are writing a piece of code, if you are testing something, if you are doing a project management, if you are sending an invoice to the client from the accounts, when HR is hiring somebody or interviewing somebody, do it with that, think that നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടിയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അല്ലാതെ പ്രകാശിനും മറ്റവർക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടല്ല ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ വിചാരിച്ച് ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ it will not be good. Life will be great. That's my sincere request. See, ഞാൻ സ്കൂളിൽ പോയിരുന്നപ്പോൾ see, I was not a great student, to be honest with you. Academically, I was never great. But see, my elder brother, he was like my dad. Because my dad has gone to school only maybe 4th grade or 5th grade. So my brother was the first one to go to college from the village where I grew up. So that my second brother was the second one and I was the third one. So ചേട്ടൻ എന്നെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു, സ്കൂളിൽ പ്രോഗ്രസ് കാർഡ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, നല്ല A grade, B grade ഒന്നല്ല, മാർക്കാണ്. അപ്പോൾ 40 out of 100, 50 out of 100. Then he called me and said that, look, Hari, I think that you be good. That's all I have to say.
I will use this opportunity to say thanks. Nandi ആരോട് ചൊല്ലു എന്നാണ്. I think first I would like to express deep gratitude to each one of you who have contributed to bring this company, this platform to this level. I still remember around 8 years back, the day when we did the ring for the first time. And with a burning desire, something make a big mark in this world. That journey is actually has brought us to this platform. This platform, which is going to go further, and then I think this in the wealth creation or creating a team, creating an entity, I think it will go farther with all the hard work and dedication from all of you. But I think beyond that, I'm really looking. I mean, yesterday in Speridian also I was talking about the same thing. This is going to be a bringer for many more such platforms around the country or around the world. So I just mentioned in the huddle last week, Kerala Startup Mission had a huddle. I met with a young man and I recognized him because I hired him as a fresh grad 15 years back from NIT Calcutta. So the opportunity India is having, is going to have, is tremendous. Hari mentioned that when we came out of college, there was one CDOT, one CDAC, one ERGO, ISRO, which used to pay 3,000 or 4,000 rupees per month. So we had services companies, several of them. Now we have more than 100 unicorns in the company. Products is now, earlier it used to be that made in India was a bad, obscene word, more. So we have product companies, mostly shallow tech, their immigration control, they are becoming very fast, becoming startup unfriendly nation. They are really looking at India to do a lot of heavy lifting in the technology space. So it is going to be a decade of startups in India, and I'm sure each one of you is going to play a huge role. So I request all of you, set your bar very high. Really prepare your for being a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a leader in the corporates, as teachers, as researchers. And that is when our energy and dream is going to really come in. So I thank again each one of you and thank Derek and Tom who has made this beautiful place possible. So this around a month back I was in the Google campus in Silicon Valley.
വളരെ സന്തോഷമുള്ള ദിവസമാണ്. വെരി ജോയ്ഫുൾ മൊമെന്റ് ഫോർ ഓൾ ഓഫ് us. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം Good Bits and Logistics. We joined Simelabs family in April of this year. Very happy to see the company grow. ശരിക്കും പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ when you actually start up, becoming moving to a 1,000 square feet office or a 5,000 square feet office, ഇതെല്ലാം are small milestones which indicate growth. So I think this is a milestone. Like we're moving into a larger office. It indicates that നമ്മൾ മുകളിലേക്ക് പോവാണ്, and we're growing. And wonderful office by the way in new cities. എല്ലായിടത്തും നമ്മൾ നല്ലോണം ഗ്രോ ചെയ്യട്ടെ. I'm very happy for all of us. ഇത് നമ്മളെല്ലാവരുടെയും പാടുപെടുന്നതാണ്. So take a moment to congratulate yourself and celebrate. Enjoy. Thank you.
Can I have your attention please for 1 minute? When are we going to break the walls?
എപ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ വാളമൊക്കെ പൊളിച്ച് എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. Come on, when are we like the walls? എനർജി ഇല്ലല്ലോ. വാൾസ് പൊളിക്കണ്ടേ? സാധാരണ നമ്മൾ ഒരു എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എപ്പോഴും പറയാറ് ലെറ്റ്സ് ബ്രേക്ക് ദ വാൾസ് എന്നാണ് പറയാറ്. We'll grow, and we'll break the walls until we are in the full building. So, when is that gonna happen? You guys tell me. Come on. There is not enough energy here. Guys, tell me. Okay. So, this is a very big there is a very big milestone for all of us. So this is a very big milestone for all of us. Party hard, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holidays. Soon we will all regroup together for something else, which is much more bigger, I guess. Until then, have fun. And let me thank everyone who came in. And I was late, very sorry. So let me thank everyone, and thanks to Derek, Prakash, Tom, and the whole crew who have arranged here for us. And that's it. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So how many folks here is from the West team? Just curious. Anyway, thank you, Prakash and team, for the invite. We have a pretty amazing partnership from Simelabs. Prakash is helping me now also to set up a new robotic facility in Bangalore. So just to take a step back, I remember being invited to the previous Simelabs event. I think it was like how many years back was it? 4 years back, right? It was a much smaller office, and I kind of gave a similar conversation. I told maybe you guys will get to it pretty soon, and I will come back for giving my regards. So it's great to see this evolution. It is very amazing. I mean, this space, a lot of space, it's pretty awesome. You probably need a mini bar, but everything else is awesome. So, maybe I don't have a lot of things to say other than, first of all, I really want to thank team for the whole help and support that you guys give us. We have a pretty big center in Bangalore, around 600 people. It's an amazing support that we are getting from the whole team. I also want to mention about one specific point. How many of you noticed very Soji, yeah. So I was just mentioning Mr. Soji. How many of you have seen how Soji was lighting the lamp today? Did you see how he was lighting the lamp? It was very eye-tracking, right? He tried it a couple of times. The lamp was not getting lighted up. Did you see what he did? He was like trying again and again, and he's the head of engineering. So I love it. That is how engineering works, right? So this is how Tesla is building rockets. So there is a story. I don't know if you know about it. So NASA, they actually gave a budget to not Tesla, SpaceX, and then they gave almost the same amount of budget to Boeing. And NASA asked both of them to build rockets for the International Space Station, right? And Boeing had this amazing history. Boeing had all this legacy, this big project plans, a lot of people. And then SpaceX was a startup. They were just building, and at that point the culture was let's build, iterate, break things. I think they burned a couple of rockets. The spaceship, right? To the International Space Station. So this is the power of engineering. Engineering is very iterate. You have to, keep a cool head, iterate. So I just thought, he's the head of engineering, at least that's what Derek told. And I believe this hello? Yeah, sorry. The spirit of iterative improvement is something that we all need to have as human beings, even for evolving ourselves, not just for evolving systems and everything. So at the end of the day, I think you were mentioning about it. It's all about having that fun and having that, figuring out that purpose of life as human beings. There is no point in, working hard if you are not playing hard too. So, my simple and humble recommendation for Simelabs as well as for all of you is to continue that process of hydration in everything you do, in engineering, in evolving the organization, and also in evolving as human beings, because once you really have that passion to iterate, to improve in an agile manner, that will really drive you towards success. So all the great I would say appreciation to the whole team, and especially to the best team. Thank you so much for providing this fantastic support for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I thank you. I would like to thank every one of you for joining this event. This is a very special moment for us. It's a milestone event. This is one of our plans. This was one of our plans for 2023. So more surprises are going to come soon. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. I would like to invite Sujit to receive a small token of appreciation from our side. He was working so hard for the last 3.5 months. He was coordinating us. A lot of discussions, arguments, fights. The end result is really good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We are all familiar with IT tools, and we are all familiar with the word change request. And for this project, I think we have the record of maximum change request. And fortunately, Sujit was very generous and very accommodative, and he was throughout helping us for all our crazy areas. He was ready to accept and ready to make whatever changes. I thank you for all the support.